Can All right, just a warning, we are recording this session. This is Engineering Tales Club, an initiative of American Society of Engineers of Indian Origin, ASEI. ASEIUSA.org is our website. We are an organization that helps in a lot of things related to bringing community together. This organization was formed in 1983 with a mission to foster science and technology, share knowledge, and create a community of like-minded engineers and scientists. But recently, we have been focusing more on youth empowerment, upskilling, and creating opportunities for career growth, as well as technical entrepreneurship. We have programs such as Mentor Connect, University Connect, Youth Technology Exchange, and Engineering Tales. Today, you are part of the Engineering Tales program here on Clubhouse. And we actually have many professional chapters where we meet in person, as well as we have events for university students. And University Connect is a program that Preetha leads as well for ASEI. And we will get to the introductions of each of the panelists in a moment. We are honored here that so many folks are joined in the Clubhouse here. I would like to pass on the baton to Preetha for her introductions, and then we'll go to Sanjay and Vijji. Preetha, over to you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much. Are you hearing me on all forums? On
yes,
Clubhouse?
I hear you. You might want to unmute on Clubhouse as well, and then.
Got it. So multimodal. I'm so excited today. So welcome to everybody, and I am looking forward to hearing the pitches today. My background is I'm a scientist turned educator turned entrepreneur turned VC. So it's actually the fourth turn in my career, and each one has been more exciting than the last one. Like many of you, I came to the US to do for further studies. I did a PhD in chemistry at Yale, and then I went on to become a faculty at Emory University, and then but towards the end of my career, I was the dean for science there. That's about when I started my startup, which had a very strong social motivation. I wanted to connect the students of the world so that they could ask one another for help and get academic help. And of course, everything was free. It wasn't, it was a free site because I wanted students to benefit from each other's knowledge. Fast forward a few years, I left my full-time job at Emory University, came to the Valley, raised the funding, grew the site to about 60 million users, and then had an exit. And after that, I am now a VC and an angel investor. My fund is very focused on impact. So we are an impact investing fund. We invest in health and health tech. We particularly care about diversity in our founding teams. Women are, of course, very important to me, as well as making sure that the teams have an eye on social impact, amongst other things. So I look forward particularly to hearing today's pitches, and I will now go on mute so we can hear from Sanjay.
Good afternoon, folks. Piyush, really happy, we're on Zoom today and Clubhouse. It's been a while to see your face, looking great as always. Thank you for having me here. Really appreciate the invitation. Great to hear from you, Preetha, as well. For folks who, I hope I'm not sending feedback here. Let me move this phone away a little bit. Sorry about that. Piyush and I, we go back in our Fremont days since early 2000s, I'm going to say, right, Piyush? How long has it been? More than 20 years. Yeah, so it's really great to connect with you, Piyush, here. And Preetha, thank you for having me as well. So I appreciate me part of this. I'm Sanjay Dalal, the founder and CEO of Ogoing. Ogoing is a small business community. It is a social project of sorts, for sure. We launched it back in early 2010. And the platform provides a small business, especially our target is the solopreneurs and the up and coming small businesses. It's a platform for them to share who they are, their stories, make connections to other businesses, and ultimately find potential customers and partners to grow. We took the long road approach. Ogoing is, I would say, fully bootstrapped by me all the way until today. And we have been growing one small business at a time. But what we have done is we have created a platform from the ground up for the business. So we talk about who they are. We spotlight them not only on Ogoing but all the major communities online. And we really go out of our way to help a small business succeed, not only on Ogoing but also overall in their business and their potential. The journey has been rocky for sure. 11 years, there's a lot of thick and thin that goes through it. But here we are, and still, helping support every business that joins. The community has over 115,000 members now. And, we have members joining every day. And our goal is to keep providing them the best value and the experience so that they can keep growing.
Thank you, Sanjay, for being here. We are getting some feedback, so we might want to check later. Thank you for being here. Let's go to Vijji now. Vijji is on Clubhouse. So Vijji, I'll mute myself and keep going.
Thank you, Piyush. Hello, Sanjay. Hello, Preetha. I see Rajan. Hello, Rajan. It's really good to see you here too. And many others in the room that I know. My name is Vijji Suryadevara. I'm a serial entrepreneur coming from a technology background, started off as a software engineer, and then went on to start 2 companies, raised funding, institutional funding and angel funding, had one exit through a public acquisition. And I've also been in leadership positions in other startups as chief of product, head of engineering, and currently as a CTO. So I'm really interested in not only innovation and entrepreneurship, like Preetha said, female founders is something obviously we care about deeply. Having gone through the whole process of, trying to raise funding, building companies, it's a lonely challenge, especially when I started about 15 years ago. The ecosystem was not as robust as it is today, but really happy to be part of this Clubhouse room, especially because it talks about, technical founders hopefully will be more here than others. And I think we face a certain set of unique challenges too. So really happy to be here and contribute. I'll have to leave a little early, but I'm excited to be here for at least some time.
Thank you, Vijji, for being here. I know you are driving. So guys, welcome new folks coming in. I see Rajan, Surbhi. Thank you. Thank you, Vijji. I can hear you, and I forgot to unmic on Clubhouse. I see Sanjay, you've left Clubhouse. Please rejoin that, and we will come to that in a moment. Welcome to the new folks coming into the room. I'll just reset the room quickly. This is a Social Impact Innovation Pitchfest, where right now what we went around the room was the moderators, the panelists today, who spoke about their background. We will talk about, we have already talked about ASCI. Let me introduce myself. I am an engineer turned social entrepreneur in part, and in part I'm a software startup executive at Google Partner. More details on my profile. Happy to connect with anyone on LinkedIn, Twitter. Today, as part of my social give back, I do lead this organization called American Society of Engineers of Indian Origin, and this Engineering Tales is one such initiative of this organization. On Clubhouse, we've been doing a lot of events in the last 2 months that we've got started here, but more importantly, last week, we did a social impact Pitchfest, where we heard from some innovative entrepreneurs who were seeking funding. So we are taking this forward, and we are opening it up to all in this Clubhouse forum. Anyone can come in, talk less than 3 minutes, talk about what's your idea, what's your technology, how it is changing the world, and what kind of funding you're looking for. And amongst the panelists here are not only people who have been CEOs or are CEOs of their companies, but they are angel investors and VCs, as you heard from all of them. So let's take it away and start raising your hands. And one by one, I will, and please back channel me as well. If there are things that you specifically want to talk about, please raise your hands and I will be happy to bring you up. So, and once you come up, you will wait for your chance to come on. Okay, I'm going to invite Yash. Others can raise their hands as well. And Yash, take it away.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me here, Piyush. I'm really fortunate to pitch in social impact because that's what my startup is related. Before going on to the pitch, Preetha, you would definitely relate to whatever I would be. First thing, I would be giving a brief story regarding what exactly the problem is, and then going to my pitch. So specifically, when we think about STEM, students or people mostly think it is kind of boring, or they see that as little bit interactive. And there is gender and racial inequality in STEM which still persists. For instance, we can take STEM-related careers are perceived to be predominantly male, which could limit women and girl children choosing the same career. And since 1903, Marie Curie won Nobel Prize. Only 17 women have won Nobel Prize in chemistry, medicine, as compared to 572 men, and less than 30% researcher are women. This is the current scenario. And when we ask the child to draw a scientist, they end up drawing a white man in a coat or reflecting chemistry lab, something like that. But to overcome this thing, we ourselves developed a platform where the students can interact with scientists of their gender or their ethnicity, which would definitely spark motivation in them to take forward the STEM curriculum. For example, the research conducted by Microsoft in 2018 said that 51% of girls with role model can easily visualize themselves working in STEM career. Thus, in absence of a physical role model, our heroes could inspire, motivate many children, teenagers to pursue dreams in STEM career, and why not maybe working at NASA in the future. Our complete project has been presented in NASA Hackathon in past year, received recognition as the most inspirational from the NASA Hackathon. Recently, it is being incubated in the Harvard I Lab, and we are now going to MIT ICOPS program for the customer discovery and business model development. We have taken interviews of people in our customer segment, which are institutions or professors or even a few scientists to get to know what exactly the problem is and do we really solve the problem. And till now, we have been getting the positive response. Currently, we are in MVP phase, soon going to complete the MVP phase to get the product for testing it more. But I myself am looking for a little bit support to push through the MVP phase, because the technology which we are using in here is very complicated technology, and very professional people are required to build this up. That's why a little bit help is required. I myself am working on to get funding by participating in hackathons and winning them. So till now, I myself have gathered around $600 to at least get this started. And if any mentorship and support would be helpful from your side. So that's all. Thank you.
Wonderful, Yash. Thank you so much. Preetha, Vijji, Sanjay, do you have any questions for Yash?
So Yash, I just want to, first of all, I think it's a great idea to connect people with role models, and that's always going to inspire people when they can see themselves in the role models, in whether it's gender, ethnicity, or other things. One quick question I have is, you said the technology we are using is very complex and we need money for it. Could you explain what is it so complicated about your technology?
Okay, I probably missed on that part. Really sorry. Our technology is deepfake and chatbot. So it would be like you would log into a web platform. You would there is Einstein's deepfake model, and you can just type, "How are you, Einstein?" Einstein will reply through the deepfake model. So it would be like Einstein is himself talking to you, or even Marie Curie. You can ask Marie Curie, "How did you develop your theory?" And Marie Curie would dictate you that, something like that. Yes.
I really think that's a very
I
nice.
have a couple of things, right, that I would like to give you a feedback for. If you have a deep fake, and I think the chatbot part is easier. In fact, if you want some guidance on that, I can provide it. I don't think for chatbot you need a ton of money to get it going. You just need a training set, and there are a lot of libraries already available with which you can train and get started, right? So always think about in startups, you have to have a minimum viable product. Meaning, first, all this is a great idea, but unless you test it with the students, you don't know what they like and what they don't like. So before you spend a lot of money, you need to test that. The second point I would like to make is, if you use Einstein or Marie Curie, which is great, but that means they are not the real people talking to them. So they can't really provide any guidance except for answering some canned answers. When you first talked about this, I thought you meant that you're connecting actual scientists currently working in various organizations with mentees who may need help. So maybe you can consider that also, where you can bring in people who are already in their careers and real life people who can actually answer a question in real life way, an honest way. I think that will connect better than some canned answers that we come up with and put for the bot to answer. So that's just my feedback, but I think the idea is great. Just try to break down your project into smaller chunks so you can take it one step at a time and figure out what works and what doesn't work. So this is Vijay and I'm done.
Thank you, Vijay. Let's go to Preetha.
Yeah, Yash, that was a good idea, and I really liked what Vijay said. So please make note of that and double underscore from me on that. Connecting your students to real people could be even more advantageous than just the, I don't know what's happening here, but than just the the deep fakes and things like that, the Einsteins and the Curies. Though I do like that very much. And I think conversational AI is coming to a point where you can easily do that. Well, maybe not easily, but believably do that to some extent. So I think my advice to you is, at this point, what you need to do is to think of this as whether it's a business or it's like a hobby. And if it's a business, at any pitch, you're going to be asked, how are you going to make money? What's the business model? And things like that. So doing good is good, but also doing well. And the minute you start looking for money at any of these hackathons or any of these pitch fests you're going to, that's what you're going to ask. So take some time to think through this systematically. Who are the customers? Who's going to pay? How much are they going to pay? How much am I going to need? When I ask for X dollars, how am I going to spend it? And how will it further my business and take it to the next step? So if you're thinking of this as a business, that's kind of where I would start with. So, but good idea, and lots of encouragement from me.
Thank you, Preetha. Yash, do you have any final comments before we move on to our next segment?
I just wanted to thank all of you for giving the valuable feedback. I would like to know if there is any help you could provide in terms of accelerator programs or incubators, or if we can suggest something like that who could give a little bit of help or mentorship. That would be really helpful for me.
Yash, stay tuned. Do follow all the mods here up on the screen. Let me mod Preetha and Vijay as well, who are on the screen you're seeing. You should follow the club here as well. And do visit aseiusa.org and try to join that. It'll be a free sign up for our newsletters, and we will be launching certain exciting programs soon. So stay in touch, and we definitely want you to stay in the room. Before we go on to the next presenter, I want to welcome a couple of other folks who've joined the room. And I'm assuming Daniel, you and Tara would be pitching as well. Anybody else who wants to pitch, please raise your hands in the audience and we'll get to you. But I want to take this moment to very quickly welcome Charul, who's on Zoom. Charul, if you can get your camera working, we will get to introduce you. But in the meantime, I want to welcome Rajan. Rajan, please introduce yourself briefly, and then we'll go to Surbhi for her introduction.
Thank you for inviting me, Piyush. I don't know how long I can stay. I might have to step out rather suddenly, but thanks for having me here. This is a topic close to my heart. And my name is Rajan. I'm an engineer, been an entrepreneur for a long time in India and the US. And unlike most of you who came to the US to study and stayed back, I was an entrepreneur in India and I moved to the US to set up the US operations for my company. So I have had my feet in both countries. That said, I currently advise startups at the Los Angeles Clean Tech Incubator, and I'm a partner with the 22 Fund, and I live in the Seattle area. More in my bio and LinkedIn, and of course Google. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Rajan. And I know Rajan through some of the other rooms that I've been on with Vijji. So Rajan, awesome individual, wonderful speaker, and as you can see, he can really help with the VC and accelerator programs. So stay connected. Next person I would like to introduce is our ASI's Silicon Valley board member, Surbhi.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Piyush, for inviting me. I'm super excited to be here. I do support initiatives like this with the IIT Alumni Association, with IIT startups. So my background is a lot of product management, user interfaces, customer experience, and I bring that to the table to help companies think through, what is the problem statement that you're trying to address, and what is the core, segment of users you're going after, understanding that. Some of the things which Vijji and Preetha were calling out in the previous person's pitch, I think those are very relevant to come to the foundational questions first. So happy to be here and happy to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you, Surbhi, for being here. I've made both you and Rajan mods as well. You both bring a lot of perspective and good ideas. So let's move on to our, I still can't see Charul on Clubhouse, but hopefully I'll see her on Zoom pretty soon. But let's go to Daniel. You raised your hand. Daniel, briefly introduce yourself and your social pitch, please.
Thank you. And thank you so much for this opportunity. I know some of these wonderful people on stage too. It's been a pleasure getting to know them. So I am Daniel Lubiner. I've been an art teacher for special needs kids and the blind for over 20 years. And during the pandemic, my students faced tremendous challenges learning Braille remotely. And then I found out these horrible statistics, like 32% of blind people graduate high school and only 16% college. And the unemployment rate is over 70%. And that is in the United States. Around the world, it is unfortunately much worse. So I'm an inventor. I have multiple patents that were inspired by my students. I founded Touchpad Pro assistive technology to revolutionize the lives of the blind and low vision with innovative products. We focus on touchable art, Braille literacy, and technology. Our first product, which is the Braille Doodle, is like an Etch-a-Sketch for the blind. It'll just have magnets and springs and plastic, and it'll be very affordable. You'll be able to draw touchable drawings and learn Braille anywhere. At under $100, it's already gaining excitement worldwide. If you Google Braille Doodle, you'll see it come up in all different types of languages. It's really cool the way it's gained traction, even pre-product, pre-revenue. So in the near future, we plan on rolling out something called the Touchpad Pro. It's going to take a lot of innovation, new technologies, but we partnered with one of the best engineering firms in the United States. It's going to be like an iPad for the blind with thousands of pins that raise and lower. Like if you could take a selfie and have your face rise out of the surface and, still teach Braille. And also, we want to make things affordable, and we also want to be able to, so we have the idea of being able to go into other markets, including for people with disabilities, because it will be fantastic tactile nature for people with disabilities, and it will be fantastic for people in all types of different learning situations, because it will be the only tactile learning device that I've ever seen as a teacher. But I want to introduce Tara. She's my co-founder of the foundation. So we also recently formed a foundation so we can, get money through grants and different means to move these products faster to market and also get them to people who can't afford them. So Tara?
Thank you, Daniel. Just before Tara gets on, so basically you are tag teaming here in the pitch. We were hoping to get individual pitches, but that's fine. Tara, please go ahead and briefly introduce yourself because I do want to get to our next speaker, Charul, pretty soon. So go ahead, Tara.
Thanks, Piyush. I resonate with all the discussion in this room about empowering young people. And as Daniel mentioned, those statistics about how many blind children are not empowered to graduate high school or work. And Preetha, I don't need to tell you about the importance of a child's social environment for their education. And the current state of education disables blind children beyond not being able to see. It disables the vast majority of them with illiteracy. And children with dyslexia are similarly held back by the way information is conveyed. Likewise, autistic children or children with sensory processing disorder either get more information or less information from their visual and auditory environment than most children, and which can make it harder to make sense of, and then they can miss milestones, and getting tactile input, just another source of input, makes it easier to make sense of the information so they can reach more of those milestones. And it's really important to reach kids early and reach them where they are, which is why with our foundation, we strive to provide products at no cost to children who can't afford them around the globe. And we're really excited and looking for funding. Done speaking.
Great, thank you, Tara. Just a quick question. Do you have a go-to-market plan, and do you have the requirement of your funding outlined somewhere?
Yes, I have a full deck prepared with financials stretching out 5 years. For the last year, we've been pitching this as a for-profit for impact investors. And we're just really trying to get that first investor who's really going to come on board. So right now we're seeking $1 million for 10%. That will be negotiable, of course, but just to give you some round numbers, and that will get us the Braille tool into the hands of kids in 6 months, and it will get us POC of the Touchpad Pro, which will absolutely blow people away.
Thank you, Daniel. All right, Preetha, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm very impressed by the story.
Sorry, we are having a lot of feedback. Sanjay, can you mute on Zoom?
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, Preetha.
And then Preetha, and then we'll get to you in a moment.
Thanks, Sanjay. Thanks for passing the baton. So really good. I enjoyed hearing this.
So there's a lot of feedback.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if we can.
Preetha's not unmuting on Zoom.
Yeah. So Preetha, unmute on Clubhouse as well as then speak on Zoom. I'll go on mute. Everybody else, go on mute, please. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm unmuted on Clubhouse. Okay, awesome. So just wanted to say real quickly that Daniel, great idea. Tara, good to hear from the two of you. And I'm happy to follow up and have conversations about your for-profit arm. And then I will have questions about your business model and how you plan to execute and things like that. But overall, good story. So follow up with me.
Great, thank you, Preetha. Sanjay, did you want to have any comments?
Thank you so much.
Okay. I think it's a great idea, Daniel. I'm just curious on the Touchpad Pro. You talked about. Can you hear us? Yeah, on the Touchpad Pro, what was the price point at which you were planning to bring it to the marketplace? I was curious on that. And you said a major engineering firm is helping you. Were you looking to provide it to institutions initially, or were you looking to go direct to the consumer?
Okay, so the Braille Doodle, our first product, is going to go right to consumers and also through retail and also through Amazon. So that'll definitely get things kickstarted. But the Touchpad Pro is going to be, people look at want the complete business model and more information, I'll be happy to show you how we're going about this.
Absolutely. I think we'll go through Piyush as our main point of contact, but I think it's a marvelous idea. And yeah, that's why I asked you, is it going to be institutional initially, or would you go direct? Because it appears the Touchpad Pro could be a premium product, which still has a wide appeal, as long as folks can get their hands on it, right? So I think, we'll look forward to that. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah.
Thank you. And just another quick thing is I always reference the huge TVs, like 65-inch TVs used to be like $10,000. Now they're under $1,000. So if we could get this technology going, we could spread it out to a wider base, and so we could mass produce, whatever motors or whatever types of technologies are needed. That's going to bring down the price. If not at first we're looking at around 12,000, 13,000.
Sure.
But we're hoping to go down from there. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for the interactions here, Sanjay And Daniel, we will definitely follow up. Make sure you're following the mods on the stage here, following the club, and do visit asiusa.org for the next steps as well. We will be following up. Now, on the stage, we've been joined by a special guest from Mumbai, Charul, who I was hoping to get on Zoom as well, but let's see. Charul, you want to introduce yourself and take it from here? Charul, please unmute.
Terrible network issues.
Okay. Seems like she's having network issues.
Now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead, please.
All right. First of all, my apologies to everyone because there is some terrible network issues I'm facing over here on Zoom call. Hence, I had to switch it off and come here. So thank you for, first of all, thank you so much for having me here, Piyush ji. It's a great honor to be here and joining all the amazing people from different parts of the world. And I'm glad that I'm here. So do let me know how can I be of any assistance in any sort of work or anything. I am basically a singer, a writer, a performer, and a vocal coach. And I run an academy. My academy name is Harmony Music on the Boat, wherein we teach everything about music, and right from vocals, and rhythm, and everything, like whatever you say music is all about, that's what we teach. And we offer comprehensive musicianship through active learning for all age groups. And like we conduct the classes and lessons with proper intention and create a better learning situation, that which develops a wonderful rapport between the teacher and the students, wherein we invite parents also for periodic classes performances, and they participate also with many sort of events. And our curriculum is been specially designed for each level, providing appropriate and innovative learning materials for each age group. So we have no as such age limit for people to learn music, as far as anything is concerned, like learning from vocals to rhythm. And we do healing therapy also, and we conduct different kinds of musical events, online and offline as well. And we do some open mic kind of sessions where we call all sort of musicians from different parts of the place where we conduct such sessions in that particular city. And from that we give the people to we give them a platform to perform. And then we collaborate also with different artists, and again give them opportunity to be on stage and on other platforms also. So thank you once again very much, Piyushi, for giving me an opportunity to present myself, to present my academy over here. And thank you once again.
Thank you, Charul. It's a great connection between learning and music. They say music enhances the learning ability, and the fact that you are running this academy to enhance the life of people, that's commendable. And now, since you're here, I would not let you go without you demonstrating your skill here. I've heard you sing in the past. For this audience here, if you could have a very small song, and then we will resume the part 2 of this and get to other entrepreneurs here.
Oh, wow, very well. Thank you so much once again. And yeah, what would you like to listen to?
Anything.
Just help me choose the song.
You've got 2 minutes.
A Hindi song or an English song? Oh my God.
Hindi song, and there are a lot of folks waiting. We have a time limit. We have to finish this room within the next 15 minutes. A lot of judges have to go. So please go ahead.
All right, so I'll sing few lines of Zindagi ke safar mein guzar jate hain jo मकान वो फिर नहीं आते वो फिर नहीं आते जिंदगी के सफर में गुजर जाते हैं जो मकान वो फिर नहीं आते वो फिर नहीं आते. Okay.
Wonderful, 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 Charul. This was a great demonstration of your capability, and I'm sure the audience appreciated it. We'll listen to your English song towards the end. Let's get to our next pitcher. I believe Ganga, you are here. Please go ahead, unmute yourself and speak.
Thank you, Piyush. I appreciate that opportunity. Really, that was a great song. What to listen after so many days, and I was able to hear that. My name is Ganga Vatula. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm the founder and CEO of Proctor 360. We're trying to solve one of the biggest problems in the tech industry to democratize the remote education. So one way the schools and the certification agencies can deliver the training or the education online is very easy with the tools like Zoom and Microsoft Teams and all those things. But unfortunately, there is no solution for them to take secure exam remotely. That means, is there a way you can convert the home or office into a test room so that everything can be monitored remotely? So we came up with an innovation called Proctor 360, and I have a patent pending for that. And we are already having about 25 customers in US and also abroad. And we are in a growth phase where we need some money for, number one, to manufacture the headsets, because we need to manufacture those things, because this is inbuilt 360 camera to monitor everything as a human being if you are taking an exam remotely. And number two, to bring some awareness with the sales and marketing that this kind of product and solution is already there. And solution is well accepted by some of the law schools, even from California and all. But trying to, democratize the education and also seeking some investment through equity crowdfunding right now. Our active offer is already live with the net capital. Anybody can invest, if you are an angel investor or individual can go and invest, starting from $100 to whatever you wanted to invest. But I need some advice and help to take this, solution to the next level, and any advice is highly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganga. Would you like to take this question first, Preetha, and then we'll go to Surbhi?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you want me to unmute you in Clubhouse?
There's a lot of feedback.
I think this is the move. This is what better?
Yes, this is better.
Yeah. So a great idea, Ganga, and so glad that you're following through. It is an important problem, so I validate the problem. I think as far as advice is concerned, I think you're doing the right thing. You've got to, as we've said before, systematically work through the different parts of the business and then demonstrate in your next pitch that you have an understanding of how you're going to use the money, how you're going to use it to make it grow, and then get it to your next step. And what are the milestones, both technical and business, don't forget, and go for that. I think that the EdTech, as everybody knows right now, is extremely hot, and there's a lot of attention and money being poured at the different problems in the ecosystem. So I would encourage you to keep doing what you're doing and seek out, in particular, investors and angel investors. And I would, since for your stage of the company, I think angel investors would be very, very interested. So seek out angel investors. It's easier to approach them and to up them to get you to prove your proof points, so you'll be ready for your VC round after that.
That's a great advice, Preeti. Thank you very much. And I'm trying to reach out angel investors, but if you have any list, any way I can reach out to them, please let me know, or you can
I can recommend one that I used to belong to, which is called Tech Post Angels, TCA, and they have an online process. So they're good people. They like tech. So definitely that would be one to start with.
It's got tech hosting.
Tech Post Angels.
Oh, got it.
And if I may interject quickly, Ganga.
Sanjay, just keep muted on Zoom and unmute on Clubhouse and come from there.
I got it. So, Ganga, we have also another angel group here in Southern California, similar to TCA. It's called Thai SoCal Angels, and I'm one of the chartered members. I think Preeti knows that pretty well as well. Preetha, sorry. So we'll be happy to help you there as well. It's, I was reading a very important stat when the remote learning was happening in India. They found that there was like 95% or more students were scoring A grades, especially when they were taking online exams. Now, some of the schools, they started saying, let's come back to campus, and the students were getting A grades, they actually started failing in actual real exams. So there is something to be said about your product. I think if it's done well and done well for the right audience initially, I think there's a need for sure.
That's right, Sanjay. I think that's where the solution is lacking right now, because so-called Zoom or webcam-based solutions cannot provide complete fairness and also integrity in exam delivery. So that's where our solution should work. And yes, there is a lot of need in India and also a lot of exams. As you know, you're from California. You might have heard California blues, while some of the kids, by cheating, they were getting to big schools. Only thing missing was there a simple camera, which was, kind of missed when they are taking the exam, and they were able to cheat and get to the big schools. And later on, there was a big national news after that, as you know. Great
perspectives.
Yeah, I would say on the right type of initial student you want to go after. Is it a school, as in elementary to K-12 is how we identify it here? Would it be a college student? Or are you looking to help more of the, I would say post-college students, right? The business kind of students. So I think once you focus in on that, I think then things should probably get smoother from there.
Sure, we're focusing, mainly at the higher education right now, but we also have a couple of customers with the K-12 also in US. We're trying to do whatever we can do within the limits. But there's certainly, market, Piyush, as you said, Sanjay. So there's a huge need for this, because it has become easy with this pandemic that education can be delivered online, but can you deliver the secure exam online? That's a challenge. And unfortunately, we work hard to get that score, or, as you said, A grade, and somebody else is not doing the same job, the difference, right? And especially there will be legal issues and other things down the line. And only way, we can solve that problem is by securing the exam. And by the way, I have a couple of test centers in Virginia. We already do the testing. I know the problem, what's happening. And nobody ever provided this solution. And that's where I was able to, apply for the patent, and we're waiting for the patent to be clear. But certainly there is a need for giving some fairness and also the integrity for the exam, which is being delivered remotely.
Excellent innovation, and all the best to you. I'd like to remind everyone to, I've just pinned a link on top on Clubhouse. Please fill that out. By doing so, you will be able to get our notifications and newsletter sign up, as well as invitations to face-to-face events that we may host in person in cities near you. So with that, thank you, Ganga. And we have a couple of more speakers on the stage. Welcome Arjun and Sana. In the PTR order, I will go to Sana first. Please introduce yourself and pitch your idea in 3 minutes or less.
Hi, this is Sana Lasher. I work in DC, and I'm an information manager, one of the government Institute here. I'm just coming up at the stage because I just looked into that website, Protector 360, and I would like to just say, Ganga, that's a really nice site, and the way that you present it is easy and high quality. And I think the question that I have, do you think that those devices could be compromised or have a man in the middle at some point, that it could look like the person is sitting in sort of isolated area from anything to be cheated? But do you think the possibility will be happening for that particular reason? Thank you. This is Sarah. I'm done speaking.
Sure. Just to answer, we will have our own chips to embed into the headset, so that we will monitor all those things, even the Bluetooth. In fact, we conduct something called Cheatathon, just to see how people can cheat, so that we'll learn how it can be. People find a ways to cheat in a possible manner. But technology always evolving, and we are certainly thinking through. And we have extensive experience in handling this. Certainly, if there is any cheating, we have the ability to handle those things also. And I appreciate your question.
Thank you, Ganga and Sana. And please do fill out, as I said, the link at the top is pinned. Follow the club, follow the mods, follow the amazing speakers that we came up to meet today. This is an amazing international forum where people from all over the world are coming together and talking and exchanging ideas. So Arjun, we move on to you next.
Yeah, thank you, Piyush. Appreciate it. And thanks to all the moderators as well for holding the space. Arjun Jagi, based out of San Diego, California. I'm in the tech industry for more than 10 years now. And my background is artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, blockchain, and ERP, that's enterprise resource planning. I'm also the founder of ASIO, ACYO, where we are shaping up the future of eKYC. That's electronically know your customer, digital ID, anti-money laundering, onboarding, and hiring. It's a fully automated solution where you don't need any sort of manual intervention. We call it automated ID verification. And we leverage AI, blockchain, advanced facial biometrics, optical character recognition, and liveness detection to help businesses convert more customers, stop fraudsters from infiltrating the online ecosystem, and at the same time, get in compliance. So you can imagine having an automated online security guard for your business, right? Because as a business owner, you definitely want to know who your customer is. And if you look from your customer's perspective, it builds a lot of confidence and credibility that they're going to join a safe and secure environment. So that's what we do. And we serve around 65 different industry verticals, right from universities to healthcare, pharmacies, hospitals, airlines, banks, crypto exchanges, stock trading platforms, dating apps, you name it. So yeah, we are also looking for an advisor at this point of time because it's been bootstrapped so far. We haven't raised any sort of funding from outside investors. So we're looking for someone who has a solid background in sales, building partnerships, as well as investor relations. So if you're someone who wants to join an early stage startup, then this is your opportunity right here. You should be willing to work in return for a stake in the company. We are not going to award any salary until the first round of funding. And this is not for you if you are in the early stage of your career. We are looking for a seasoned professional with at least 10 years of experience, who is already working full-time or retired or an existing to a bunch of different startups. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. This is Arjun Jagi, and I'm done speaking.
Arjun, great idea to offer an opportunity for even retired folks to contribute. This is definitely a good thing. And just a question, how much funding are you looking for in round one?
So we are looking for $5 million right now with a runway of 18 months. And after 18 months, we'll raise another round of funding.
Okay. And how big is your team currently?
It's 10 folks right now.
And all of them are on equity, right?
Two of us, three of us actually are on equity, and rest of them, we are paying them salaries, and most of them are interns from Ivy League universities.
Got it. Got it. No, that's a great model, and happy to connect offline. As I said, if we are not already connected on LinkedIn, let's do that. And that goes to everyone on the stage here. I'm sure Sanjay or Preetha may have some comments as well. So I'll let Sanjay go first and then Preetha.
So I think it's a great concept. So where are you right now? Are you beyond MVP or are you still, what stage are you in? Sorry, I missed that part.
No, that's all right. It's beyond MVP. We are doing 7 POCs with different organizations across the globe, right from banks to payment gateways, even with the universities. And one of our use cases was proctoring. So we are building in-house use case for that as well, because a university wanted to get the solution to onboard their students who are still waiting in different countries. So they said, if you can also come up with something called proctoring, which Ganga mentioned. So we are almost done with that use case as well. So yeah, it's beyond MVP, and we have filed 4 patents. We are waiting for them to be approved.
Right. So I think one challenge I see is the advantage you have is that many markets who will potentially want your technology, no doubt. And I think the challenge you have right now is, obviously you want to find the lowest hanging fruit and figure out who is going to take the bait, if you may, and who's going to use it. So I think you'll have to figure out maybe 1 or 2 markets initially and see quickly, how you can then go deeply with them. So you mentioned, I think trading platforms and financial institutions. To me, I think that looks like a very good low-hanging fruit, although I'm not sure how difficult it is to enter that market. So I'd probably say look into positioning yourself more vertically as soon as you get a better sense of which market is potentially taking you on. And then once you do that, then the problem, you mentioned AI and everything else, because then I think you'll have to go deeper into solving this problem, right, for that specific market. I would say that to me is the game for you initially. And then in parallel, of course, find the right VCs. I'll be happy to introduce you to the Thai SoCal Angels here in SoCal as well.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjay. I appreciate that. Actually, we have done all that. In fact, we are doing an integration with the direct competitor of DocuSign. They are based out of Silicon Valley. One of our partners has a law firm. He's based out of San Francisco as well. So he's helping us connecting with all these SMBs and mom and pop shops and big organizations. But we are looking to grow. We are more than happy to raise equity. We are ready to onboard few advisors, because me and my co-founder, we are techies. We don't have any background in raising funds in the past, and we have invested so far our hard-earned money with.
Something happened. Arjun dropped out. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, I was just unmuting. I think Preetha, you wanted to add something. I don't know what is
Arjun, you're back.
Arjun is back.
Yeah.
Someone moved me to the stage. Mistakenly.
Please
so
continue.
What I was saying is, we have a tech background. We are techies. We have microphone. Yeah. Can you hear me fine?
Thank you, Arjun. Yeah, we heard you fine. I think you're complete. Go ahead. Who wants to make comment?
Maybe I'm at a bad spot. If I'm audible, please let me know.
Yeah, you're good, Arjun. Thank you so much. Preetha, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to, so Arjun, just listen for a minute while you're trying to get your technology worked out. I think Sanjay made an excellent point, and this is what we would all say, which is standard advice, but it's very, very good advice, which is focus. So you figure out which market you're focusing on, focus on that market, get your product market fit, demonstrated with a couple of, early customers. And your best bet is, since you're in this really early stage, it's two of you, not much of a team, not much of a product, not much of a, well, I'm just really, laying it out there, but I might be wrong. But from what you just said, my advice would be, in fact, today, Sanjay and I are saying the same thing, would be to go after the angel market. They are exactly the kinds of people that you want, because if you're in an angel network like other Thai Angels, SoCal, or TCA, which by the way are both in SoCal, the one I belong to, Sanjay, is Orange County. But anyway, so someone there typically as an angel network will take this on as a passion, and they could well be your advisor or advisors and help you with more than just money. So it's actually value-added money for you and will help you get to the next step on very nice terms. So giving away equity to a VC at this stage of the company is, I don't know, I can see from the way Sanjay is shaking his head, and he would agree, is not quite in your best interest at this stage of your game. So either of us will be happy to talk to you about this if you want to develop this down the line. But I think on the plus side, you're in a really hot area. AI, cybersecurity, it's going to just expand, and people are going to be grabbing up companies left, right, and center. So yours might well be the one someone grabs. So good luck on that.
Yeah, thank you, Preetha. I appreciate it. The product is matured enough. We are just ready to scale this. In fact, from last 6 months, we are looking for an enthusiastic team to scale this solution. We are not looking for a sleeping investor, whether they are angels or VCs. We are looking for someone who can open up more, channels for us, more opportunities. This is a finished product with the done POCs. Marketing is on track, but we don't have a lot of money to pump in on social media platforms, because we've been investing our hard-earned money, which we save by working. We are still working. All of us are working full time, and we are doing 10 different things to survive this baby. So now we are ready to, just take it to the next level. Yeah, thank you so much. More than happy to connect offline. I have followed both of you as well as Piyush.
Excellent, Arjun. What I would say is, maybe as a fallout of the last episode and this episode, we've got enough number of entrepreneurs and promising entrepreneurs who we may be able to bring in for a very small group session where each of them can do their demo on screen, and we'll bring in some accredited investors / angels. Do you like that idea, Sanjay, Preetha?
I think it's an excellent idea, yeah.
Awesome. So we obviously want to foster engineering entrepreneurship, and yes, there are other organizations that foster entrepreneurship in general. The two things that ASCI today stands for are youth empowerment and engineering innovation, and we want to do as much as possible for the society. So the theme of this room today was an excellent backdrop, and I do see Veronica come on stage. I really wanted to end this room within 60 minutes, and I know I reserved some of these judges only for 30 minutes each, so many of them have already dropped out, but we'll give 2 opportunities for well, Sana has already spoken. So Veronica, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself briefly and do your pitch.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Veronica Castro. I am based in Northern Virginia, close to Washington, D.C. I am an engineer currently working for Amazon. However, I am an entrepreneur as well. I created my consulting company in talent innovation. My mission is to empower not only other females, but also underrepresented minority groups to pursue leadership roles in the STEM space. So what I've been doing in the last year is coaching individuals that are either looking for a job or trying to start their own business. I'm basically translating all my expertise in operations in tech companies. So that's if you guys are looking for some sort of an assessment on your culture, whether it's diverse or not, because inclusivity, it has many spectrums from talent optimization all the way to the mental inclusivity programs. So I would like to connect with you if I get support in any way. Feel free to send me a back channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Veronica. And do fill out that pin-up link that I pinned up on this room. And do follow the room Engineering Tales, and we will follow up as appropriate. I do see a lot of other friends in the room as well. Reliance Books, Mustafa, Nilesh, Tushar, Gobin. If any of you have anything to say, please raise your hand. And of course, Chris joined as well. But if I don't see any hands raised in 2 seconds, what I would like to do is, this is the final round where I want to give each of the mods on the stage 60 seconds to wrap up. And to do that, I would say we'll take the order. We'll go with Preetha, Sanjay, and then Charul. Over to you, Preetha.
Thank you. I think this was very interesting. You can see a lot of energy, a lot of creativity, and also the urge to do well, which is very, very important. We rely on, creative people like you, the ones that are in the audience right now. But at the same time, it's a long game. And so if you want to be in the long game, you can't always rely on grants to fund you because you're doing social impact. And you need to leverage the fact that there are firms like ours that believe in impact as an investment priority. But in order to get that sort of capital to help you grow and develop your business into a profitable business, you need to come to us with a solid, business plan, as it were, a good pitch with a deck which has everything laid out. How you're going to make money for yourself, for us, and also what are your impact metrics and how you're going to measure them. So very good. Thank you for this opportunity, Piyush, and really happy to meet the other panelists on this, and we'll connect with everybody. Thanks.
Thank you, Preetha, and thank you for the service on the Silicon Valley board since 2021 January, and really looking forward to our big event in January 15th, 16th is our annual convention. Of course, we'll continue doing our intermediate events, but if anyone wants invite to our exclusive conference, you definitely want to sign up on the link that I've posted. There are other things that we will talk about as we go forward, but over to you, Sanjay, for your final comments.
I really want to thank Piyush for hosting this forum, as well as many more. Piyush, you're an incredible leader of the community here. So thank you so much, for everything you do here, my friend. So I learned a couple of things from Preetha today. She talked about doing good versus doing well. I think it's a lesson for a lot of us entrepreneurs. We do get carried away, and I've done it myself, with the thought of doing good for the community, doing good for small businesses, doing good for whoever our target, I would say, audience is. But let's not keep thinking just doing good. I think the doing well part, as she mentioned, is how you're going to make money from it. What is your business model? What is your go-to-market? And I think that to me is critical, and I also learned that along the way. Charul, beautiful song. I think if I can take that away, it's what she meant by the song for a lot of us, or some of us who are not Hindi speakers, is the moment do pass you by, so make sure you live every moment. Thank you, Charul, for that excellent song. Are we going to hear one more from her? Hopefully, Piyush. Maybe not today. I think we're over the time limit.
No, your wish is my command. So I will humbly request Charul to take over the stage right after you.
I have nothing more to say, folks. I would say just keep the focus. I think it's very easy to be passionate. Much harder to keep that focus on making money as an entrepreneur. So I would say as long as you keep doing that, and come back to how you're going to make money from your excellent endeavor, I think your success will be yours. So thank you.
Thank you, my former neighbor from Fremont and now an Irvine resident for the last decade plus. Sanjay and I served on the Fremont Unified School District Technology Council, again, another voluntary position that we both held almost more than 20 years ago, if I go back and think. So how many of us have been connected with the human connection is now coming alive via new platforms, Clubhouse, Zoom, and all that. So I think this is an excellent way that we are going to end this Sunday today. If you are not following us on ASCI channel on either YouTube or LinkedIn or Twitter, you are missing something, because we have become a very hyperactive organization, and we bring together both youngsters and experienced mentors like Sanjay and Preetha and Surbhi and others who were in the room. And we strive to give our wisdom and create opportunities for internships and jobs for younger folks. But at the same time, now we are talking about social entrepreneurship and seeing if we can do something for providing guidance, funding, and connections for the enterprising entrepreneurs in our community. So thank you for joining, and let me take it over to Charul for her final segment here. And then with that, we'll end the room after that. Charul, over to you.
Thank you, Piyush, once again for this beautiful initiative that you have already been doing from so long. For me, this was the first time I have participated or joined your session, and I'm glad that I have become a part of it. That the kind of work that you are doing and is really, really can't be expressed in words. But yeah, I'm looking forward to have more such kind of association, and I can be part of it, or any kind of sessions that you do online or the offline. So I would love to be a part of it, and I would love to contribute my percent of knowledge or anything if I can be of any assistance. So please feel free to reach out to me. You already know how to connect. We are already connected, and I'm having some trouble with my internet. I don't know why it is happening today. And yeah, so once again, thank you so much for calling me up on the stage and for giving me this honor and this opportunity to share my piece of work with you all. And yeah, for now, I think this is the least that I can say, because I really have no idea about what this session was all about. And since you've asked me yesterday, you told me about this thing. So I wanted to be a part of this, and that's why I came here. Thank you so much once again, Piyush.
It's around 10:30 perhaps, or 11:30 your time, right? And at night in Mumbai?
Yes, that's so true.
So thank you for staying up late. If you want to end the note on a musical tone, over to you.
Oh, that's really very kind of you once again. So, well, I already have introduced myself, that I am a singer, a performer, and a vocal coach. And well, if I talk about music, so what I always say and tell people, that in music, perfection does not come with how much do you practice, but what you practice and how you practice is what makes you perfectionist. So yeah, that's what I do. I help people to unleash the singer inside them by sharing some kind of right and proper and easy techniques to unlock their true singing potential. And that's what I do. And I am running an academy, and which is online and offline. We serve both. So yeah, that's what I do. And being a vocal coach and being a singer, I would love to render a beautiful piece of music. I've already rendered a Hindi song. I would love to go with the English one. The song is Can't Help Falling in Love with You, sung by Elvis Presley. I hope you all will like it. Wise men say only fools rushing, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. और जाते जाते बस इतना कहूंगी कि
Beautiful.
चांदनी जब टकरार देता है हर कोई इंसान, तुम मगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। हो चांदनी जब टकरार देता है हर कोई इंसान, तुम मगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. तुम देना साथ मेरा, ओ हम Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Guys, this was an amazing performance. Please flash your mics on those on stage and give a warm welcome. Goodbye to Charul. This was an amazing, amazing performance, and hope you all liked it. Please do fill out the form on the stage, up on the pin link, and I'll close the room. Unfortunately, we have to time limit. So at the count of 5, I'll keep please follow each other in the room, network, and we will meet you again in the next program. We do these programs on a weekly basis. So thank you so much. Different topic next time, but glad you could join. Thank you to all the panelists, Charul, Sanjay, Surbhi, Vijji, and Preetha, who are no longer on the room, but definitely they contributed more than an hour on this platform. And to all the speakers who came up here, thank you so much for your contributions. With that, have a great, wonderful rest of the weekend. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Bye-bye.